is one thing when someone hates you because you hurt them. At least that makes sense. But what do you do when people hate you and you can't even remember doing anything to them? You were just living, and yet they looked at you with that weird energy. They hate what your energy forces them to face because you carry something. You carry a light, an aura, a grace. You carry a calling, and they can sense it. They see it in the way people are drawn to you. They see it in the way doors open for you, and in the way you keep rising even after you fall. They see it in the way you survive what should have killed you. They see it in the way you keep pushing forward. That kind of light doesn't just inspire everybody. Sometimes it exposes people. And when someone has darkness inside of them, your light becomes a mirror, and they don't like what they see. Your energy makes them malfunction. Your peace makes them uncomfortable. Your growth makes them angry. Your confidence makes them feel small. And instead of working on themselves, they decide to attack you. Because it's easier to destroy what reminds them of what they are not. That's why their jealousy came suddenly. That's why their envy came out of nowhere and they started moving weird. You did not do anything to them. God did something through you and it shook them. Because they could sense where you were going. They could sense what you were becoming. They could sense what you would achieve. They could sense the future in your life. And they could not stand it. So what did they do? They made a decision. If we can't be like them, we are going to break them. These people did not even like or trust each other. But one thing brought them together. Their hatred for you. When God puts a mark in your life, even enemies will collaborate because you became the common enemy. You became the topic that brought them together. And they formed an alliance built on bitterness, jealousy, insecurity, and demonic assignment. They started making plans to stop you, drain you, isolate you, a plan to control the way people saw you, to ruin your reputation and make sure nobody supported you. They made plans to isolate you, because if they could isolate you, they could break you. They were so committed, they did not even care who they partnered with. They were willing to sit with people they did not even respect, as long as it meant they could plot against you. Because jealousy does not have standards. It has just one mission: to destroy the light. They formed a group chat against you. Group chats are modern-day covens. Covens gather in secrecy. They exchange energy. They feed off of negativity. They plan in the dark. Speak curses disguised as jokes. They gossip like it's a ritual. They encourage each other to hate you harder. They take turns throwing spiritual darts at you. They celebrate when you fall. They mourn when you rise. In that group chat, your name was currency. Your pain was their entertainment. Your struggle was the plan. They were tracking your moves, studying your patterns, mocking you, making up lies, trying to predict your next step. They were strategizing on how to ruin you. You were minding your business, trying to focus on your calling. They were gathering like a secret society, trying to decide how to erase you. That's why it felt like you were being attacked from all angles. It was coordinated envy. It was spiritual warfare disguised as conversation. And their goal was simple: make you beg, make you feel powerless and alone. They wanted to humble you. You were not arrogant. Some people can't tell the difference between arrogance and anointing, because when they see you walking in your assignment, they assume you think you are special. And you are special, but not because you said so, because God said so. And that's what bothered them. They were not mad at what you did. They were mad at what you carried and represented. They were mad that you did not need their approval or validation. They were mad that you did not beg to be included. You were happy to stand alone. You did not compromise your values. They were mad that you were still shining even when life hit you hard. And they wanted to break that. They wanted you to lose your hope, because if they could make you miserable, they would feel better about their own misery. When people hate your light, they don't just want you to dim it. They want you to curse it. They want you to hate yourself, doubt your calling, and walk away from your mission. Because deep down, they know if you fully step into who God called you to be, they won't be able to compete. They started a smear campaign, and that's how you know it's demonic. Because demons don't fight fair. They don't come with truth. They come with confusion. They started spreading rumors about you, half-truth, twisted stories, fabricated situations. Because when someone is jealous of you, they don't need proof. They just need people who already dislike you. And suddenly, people started looking at you different. People started acting distant. People started treating you like you were guilty of something you never did. Because you don't even know what's being said. You don't even know what story is going around. They poison rooms before you enter them. They contaminate your relationships before you speak. They create suspicion around your name. They make people second-guess your intentions, and it hurts. And now you are being treated like a villain, not because you did something wrong, but because you became a target. Some of these people knew the rumors were not true, but they still repeated them, because the truth was never the point. The point was to humble you, isolate you, and make you feel like nobody was on your side. And then it got deeper. You started feeling drained for no reason. You started having moments where your mind felt foggy. Moments where you felt like you were carrying weight that was not yours. And that's when you realize they were sending spiritual darts. They were sending witchcraft, evil eyes, and sending curses. They were feeding demons with your name. They wanted you to break. They wanted you to lose your mind. They wanted you to snap and react. They were provoking you so they could justify their hatred. What they did not understand was you were not walking alone. You were covered, protected, and guarded. When God places a calling in your life, He does not just give you a mission, He gives you a defense. You stayed quiet, not because you were weak, but because you were wise. You did not try to become what they accused you of being. While they were busy planning your downfall, God was already planning their exposure. While they were busy gathering in secret, God was already listening. God was hearing every conversation. And because God hates wickedness towards innocent souls, God stepped in. And you did not even have to announce it, because God is not a God of confusion. God is a God of justice. Because the very thing they tried to do to you ended up happening to them. What people don't understand is when you are truly covered, when you are truly chosen and walking upright, you become untouchable. Not because life won't challenge you, but because attacks cannot stay on you. Because you are protected by something they cannot fight. And all that witchcraft, negativity, all that demonic energy, it bounced right off your life. And it went back to the sender. And suddenly, things started happening in their lives. Things started falling apart. Relationships started collapsing. Friendships started breaking. Money started drying up. But deep down, they knew it was the consequence. They knew it was karma and spiritual law. Because you can't throw stones at an innocent person and expect heaven to stay silent. When a group is built on hatred, it cannot last. Because hatred is unstable. Hatred has no loyalty and eventually eats itself. And once God blocked their access to you, they needed someone else to attack. So what happened? They started attacking each other. The same people who were laughing together started side-eyeing each other. The same people who were best friends in that group chat started exposing each other. The same people who bonded over hating you started turning that hatred inward. Because when the target is gone, the demons need a new host. And suddenly they are arguing, accusing and blaming each other. The same wickedness they used on you, they started using it on each other. They were never built for war. They were built for spiritual consequence. When God steps in, He doesn't just protect you. He confuses your enemies. He dismantles their plans and causes their own tongue to turn against them. And now their alliance is collapsing. Their group chat is quiet. The energy is shifting. The vibe is off because now they are realizing they would have been better off leaving you alone. The attacks did not destroy you, they refined you. The betrayal did not kill you, it revealed you. The isolation did not weaken you, it strengthened you. The spiritual warfare did not ruin your faith, it deepened it. You became sharper, more discerning, spiritually aware and focused. The whole purpose was to make you feel small, but you came out bigger, and that's why they got humbled, because they realized everything they tried only pushed you closer to your destiny. Now you're walking in a different level, a different mindset. There were battles happening behind your back that you did not even know about. There were plans being made that never reached you. There were doors they tried to close that God kept open. There were people they tried to turn against you that God protected. There were attacks that were supposed to break you that never even landed, because God was fighting for you quietly. And that's why you survived things you did not understand, because you had divine defense. And the reason God fought for you is because your heart was clean. You did not deserve the hatred, the betrayal and slander. And God does not play about his children. People think God is just love, and he is. But God is also justice. And when people mess with the innocent, God responds. God responded in your life. That's why you are still standing. Because what was meant to take you out could not take you out. They hated you and formed an alliance against you. It was never because you did something to them. It was because you reminded them of what they refused to become. It was because you carried light and they were comfortable in darkness. Your presence disturbed their demons. That's why they could not just ignore you. Because when someone is truly chosen, their existence will become a reminder that God still blesses people, and they hated that. Because they wanted to believe life was unfair until you proved that obedience brings reward. Don't let their hatred corrupt your heart, because that's what they wanted. Stay focused, grounded and humble. You are not here to be understood by everybody. You are here to fulfill your assignment. And the people who are meant to work with you will not need convincing. They will recognize your spirit, and the ones who are not meant to be with you will eventually reveal themselves. So let them go. Don't chase them. Don't beg for clarity from confused people, because God is not confused about you, and that's the only validation you need. The same people who wanted your downfall are now watching your rise, and deep down it burns them, because they thought you would never recover, but you did, because you were never theirs to destroy. If you've been through this, you are not crazy. You are not imagining it, and you are not alone. What you experienced was spiritual, and it was proof that your life carries power, because nobody gathers to destroy someone who is irrelevant. They saw your destiny, sensed your calling, and recognized your favor, and they panicked. But what they did not realize is that when you belong to God, you are untouchable. But if your heart is clean, your spirit is aligned, their witchcraft on you will not work. It will bounce back, and God will humble them, not because you ask Him to, but because He is a defender of the innocent. So keep going. Don't worry about who's talking about you, because while they are busy watching you, God is preparing a table for you right in front of them. And one day, they'll sit there in silence, watching you become everything they tried to stop. Because the truth is, they bonded over the hatred they had towards you, and you did them no wrong. But they learned the hard way. You cannot curse what God has blessed. You cannot destroy what heaven is protecting. And you cannot bury someone who was planted by God. So rise, let them watch, because God is not done with you yet. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.